And as we continue to watch the horrors of the war, the innocent lives lost, millions fleeing their safety, a country devastated, one Toronto woman decided she couldn't watch from a distance. She needed to help. Ivanka Siolkowsky booked a flight and got to work immediately on the ground. She's back home now, but her aid journey, humanitarian aid, it continues. She is boarding a flight again today. Ivanka joins us live right now. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Melanie.
Ivanka, for our viewers, some may actually recognize you as one of our regular guests for something completely separate, and that's how we stayed connected here, because many people were watching your Instagram feed. You have proud Ukrainian heritage, and you said, I need to do something. So talk about that journey and saying, I need to go there, I need to be there.
Yes, so when the invasion first started, that very first day, there was a group of friends who started raising money. Actually, just before that, with stickers for a site called St. Javelin. And it was started by my friend Christian. And then there was a group of us who thought, like, let's make some more money. What can we do? So we started designing T-shirts. I'm one of the designers. This is one of the shirts here. And once my designs were done, I thought, okay, I've done my part. Now what can I do? And there wasn't much else that I could think of. So I thought, you know what? I am self-employed. I am my own boss. I can take the time. I can go do this. So I hopped on a plane to be a translator, actually, for a reporter. And in my off time there with the reporter, I then turned into volunteer full-time.
Can you talk about what you saw while you were there? You were sort of on the border, Ukraine and Poland. You were helping families reunite or find safety. What was that like?
It was incredibly emotional. But one of the things, when you're down there, you have to remember this is not my time to be emotional. So I had to be strong, and I could break down later by myself and cry later. But in those moments, we volunteers had to be strong. But you would see people cross over the border and immediately just start breaking down, because that second they set foot on the soil, they thought, I am now safe. But there was a mixed emotions, because it was, I am now safe, but my husband, my children's father, my son, my whomever is still back there fighting for our freedom. So it was very mixed emotions, but you would see the resilience of these people, children, 4 years old, walking, and they've been walking for days, pulling luggage. I mean, you saw it all. It was a lot to take in.
Ivanka, for you yourself, and I know you say this is not about you, but let's talk about what you did experience personally there. Where are you sleeping? You're meeting other volunteers and everyone who's joining this mission, and you were sleeping in cars sometimes.
Yes, sometimes, because we volunteers did not want to take away beds from refugees who were coming in, who needed a place to stay, who had been sleeping on sides of roads and things. So many of us were sleeping in rental cars. I didn't have my own rental car, so it was a matter of finding someone that day who seemed kind of nice and had a van. And I would say, do you have an extra bench? Can I sleep in there? And I ended up getting very sick doing that. So this time around, I will have a bit of a different approach. But you had to do what you had to do. And you really had to adjust and just roll with the punches, because there's no rhyme or reason to war. You just have to do what needs to be done.
We should note that you were there for 16 days. And in fact, the only reason you did come home was because, as you mentioned, you got pneumonia. You were ill. So you've been home for the last month recovering, and you are going back. Before we get to that point, because we've got about a minute left with you, I want to show a specific picture. And this is one of your posts on Instagram. If we could bring up this picture of Ivanka holding this baby. Now, this picture in different forms was making international headlines. Why?
I mean, it was a nice day. I was holding a baby. For a reporter who sees this, there were cameras everywhere. I don't even remember, or I don't even know that this photo was taken, but it was taken from every angle. And it made headlines, oh, refugee mother carrying her child for days. Because I mean, I looked tired. People called me tired. And there was one that actually saw, I have a Canadian patch on my jacket. And one of them at least acknowledged that to say, well, she's not a refugee, but the Canadian saves baby. And I thought, oh my goodness, like I'm just helping a woman carry a baby because the baby was heavy. Like it would be the same at a grocery store. You wouldn't call someone a hero for helping someone there, but it was just interesting. So anyone who's watching news, be mindful of the headlines you read and do the research before you reshare, because that can go viral very quickly, as I'm sure you all know.
Yeah, it really speaks to, these images that not all of them are verified, and we don't know exactly where they're coming from. So thank you for clearing that up, because we know who you are, Ivanka, but, a photographer from whatever part of the world who snapped that decided to piece that together and create a narrative on their own. So definitely go beyond that headline. Thank you for sharing that. I want to mention this. You are going back today, knowing that there are dangers indeed. We cannot speak necessarily to what you will be doing, but something very similar in helping families. I want to put out your Instagram handle here, because a lot of people have already reached out and have been helping out financially, and you've been bringing that money directly to the ground. How can they help? What can they do?
Finances right now are a huge thing because, I mean, aside from the government giving Ukraine the proper weapons that are needed, closing the skies, NATO, but people at home, what they can do is donate, donate, donate. But again, verify where you are donating. Please do your research. If you don't know how to do that research and you want someone you can trust, you can head to my Instagram. There's a link in my bio that has 3 verified organizations that you can donate to, and I can personally vouch for them because I am doing little bits and pieces of work for them while I'm going to be in Ukraine.
And there it is. At Tidy Moose is her Instagram account. Ivanka, stay safe. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you for all the work that you continue to do. Let's stay in touch.
Yes, thank you.
Appreciate it.